Said, I'm going to go ahead and ask Dr. Franklin Jackson, our Associate Dean for Extension, to come and officially welcome. Dr. Jackson.
Dr. Raff. Well, Dr. Raff is one of our very learned scholars. If he were not in agriculture, he would be a statistician, because as a matter of fact, he has a degree in statistics. And he got a degree in doctrine education from the university, and thought that was not sufficient for him after he got his bachelor's, master's, and a doctorate in education, EDD as we call it, which is a teaching education. And he went back and got a PhD in research. So we are looking at a person very highly skilled, work at the University of Florida. He worked as a specialist there and working on Honduras and in some of those other South American countries. So we are very fortunate to have Dr. Rafi. Dr. Rafi came here maybe a year or two before I got here. And he has a passion for his work and for the people with whom he works. And one of the great things about Dr. Rafi, which is probably different from specialists who specialize in areas, in other areas of expertise, is that he's an entrepreneur at heart. I've said it before, he believes that every farmer should be an entrepreneur. And every student that graduates from the university, not only the College of Agriculture, should go out and do something on his or own. So when he has these conferences, what he expects is that what we learn, that we go out and apply these things. And I've always asked Dr. Rafi, what is the impact? We have great conferences, but what is the impact of the conference? So I just want to thank Dr. Rafi for the zeal with which he does his work, and for the level of interest that he shows in the people with whom he works. That means, and he will say that you're not just farmers, but you are a steward of the land. You've heard me say that before, because all of you leave the land in a better condition than you received it. And that's a good thing, because we have a responsibility of caring this Mother Earth on which we live. So having said those things, I just want to bring you welcome on behalf of my boss, Dr. Drill Harrison. She wanted to be here. She could not be here. She sent me a text this morning saying, I am so sorry that I cannot be here with this wonderful group. This is one of our best groups, berry growers, because we take a personal interest in the berry industry, especially as it relates our smaller and family farmers. We really take a great interest in what you do. On 2 days ago, Monday and Tuesday, we attended, Dean Harrison and I, Dr. Drew Harrison, the Governor's Conference on Trade, Agricultural Trade. And it's really the international conference where people from all over the world who are interested in trade attend that conference. And it was a real good conference with people all the way from all over the world that came to that conference, because Virginia perhaps is one of the more aggressive states in seeking ways of marketing the product of Virginia across the world. And the previous governor and this current governor, the previous governor did a great job, and this governor is doing a great job. Both of them had the same Secretary of Agriculture. So you know that they are very much interested. So, but what I did not see at that conference was anybody who was selling berries, because we who sell berries, we want our berries to stay among us. You know, our berries are so good that we don't want. That's not the case. But most of those individuals, they deal with big commodities, right? And so they're not really dealing with berries. But maybe one day we will be able to export berries at a higher price, perhaps, than we are even getting here. So with that said, I just want you to have a wonderful, wonderful time. We are glad you are here. I always talk about the people who attend this conference. I always talk about the diversity. I always say that the conference, the berry conference that we have, you don't have it at any other of the 1890s in the United States of America. This is very unique. And as I said that, I want to remind you that this year, 2015, we are celebrating the 125th year of the signing of the second Morrill Land Grant Act that provided funding for the establishment of 18 universities that we affectionately call the 1890s. The historically white universities were established with funding from the 1862, the first Morrill Land Grant Act. Institutions such as Virginia Tech, with which we work very closely, and so they celebrated a 150-year anniversary in 2012. And this year is a big celebration for us, and maybe Dr. Rafi will be able to raffle off a few of these pins that say 125th year anniversary. And we want you to be a part of that great celebration. We're having some activities here at Virginia State University. On Tuesday, we will be having what we call Access. We'll be having a program which is primarily geared toward making the students and the rest of our faculty members aware of the land grant status of Virginia State University, because it is not only the College of Agriculture that was established with the funding, but it was the university that was established with the funding of the funds that we got from the Second Morrill Land Grant Act of 1890. On the 18th of April, we'll be having a 5K run in Petersburg. And we hope that some of you can join. Those who can't run, you can walk. And those who can walk, you can, get on your bicycle or what have you. But that's going to be on the 18th of April. And then we'll culminate all of our activities on April 23rd by having what we are calling a reception of excellence, and this is going to be in this facility here, and that's going to be at 6 o'clock. So we are having a number of things to commemorate this wonderful, wonderful law that was put into effect that allowed us to have these wonderful universities. And of course, Virginia State University is at the top of the 1890 universities, and the reason for that is because of individuals such as you who give us the opportunity to serve you, because without you, there will be no need for Dr. Rafi, there will be no need for Franklin Jackson. So we really appreciate your coming here, and I appreciate even more personally when you take what you have learned here each year and just do a little better with what you have learned. Because when I asked Dr. Rafi, I said, Dr. Rafi, why are you having this conference? What is the impact of this conference? Because you have to report on that. It's not just the outcomes that you have learned something, but what is the impact? How does this conference impact the productivity, the profitability, the sustainability of the stewards who attend this conference? So again, on behalf of Dr. Jurel Hairston, the Dean for the College of Agriculture, we take great pleasure in welcoming you here, and we command and demand that you have a wonderful time and a great learning experience. And I want to give her and yourself a round of applause, as well as Dr. Rafi. Thank you, thank you, thank you.